Okay. Questions?
Coach, you talked about the lack of athleticism overall on the team after the game the other night. Do you attribute that to maybe a change in philosophy since the final 4 years, or is it more of just the attrition, the transfers out, that sort of thing?
Well, I think we have some really good basketball players, but our quickness, especially when we're playing big, is not great. So that's what I was talking about. Especially when we're guarding smaller guys. I mean, that other team, if you look at it, we were much bigger than they were, and I should have zoned. In retrospect, we should have zoned more. We had the 18-point lead with 11 to go. Obviously, I watched the tape 3 times. We had a 15-point lead with, I think, 8+ minutes to go. And really, I thought that, they made some big shots, and give them credit. We missed a couple that, normally they would go. But you have to give them credit. They did a great job. We've got to do a great job playing harder defensively. And some of it, but I would say, rather than point to, our lack of quickness, it's just playing harder, just being in the stands, it's just, doing tough things. And so we watched that whole game tape yesterday as a team, and saw a lot of times we're leaking out on offense rather than making sure we have the ball first. And you can see our youth shows our man defenses were, what they were running primarily offensively was not something we prepared for. They hadn't run it in their first 3 games. So they put in flex offense, which we hadn't seen until the first time.
With effort, how much can you overall attribute to guys who haven't played college basketball before acclimating themselves to the effort it takes on themselves?
We're dependent upon freshmen in a big way right now. And they're going to, they're very good basketball players. And they're going to, I think, their learning curve will be faster than most because of their talent level. But it's still, the learning curve, even from freshmen, adjusting from, high school to the college game. No question.
With Kyle Anderson, obviously he played a lot of point in high school. Has it been an adjustment for him switching to the 3? And do you
he played a point in AAU. He didn't play a lot of point in high school.
Okay.
His high school team, he did not play much of the play.
Is he having an adjustment period playing the 3 at college? And do you anticipate him playing more points as the season goes on?
Well, I mean, Larry, first of all, is doing a great job at the point when he's in there. His assist to turnover ratio is, I think, the best we've ever had. During my tenure anyway, I mean, he's 44-7. So that's outstanding. That's a 6-to-1 ratio. He's doing a great job offensively in that respect. But the minutes that he doesn't play, obviously Kyle will be our backup point with the ball. Kyle's going to play minutes at the 3, at the 4. I think he's good for us, and so we've got to look to play in those spots as well.
We did with the starting lineup.
These freshmen that you're using a lot, you talked about how they all came from winning programs. Now they've hit a little bit of adversity. How do you get them to not panic? And think.
Yeah, I don't think they're panicking, but I think it's new for them. I mean, for Kyle and Jordan, they lose many games the last couple of years, in particular those 2 guys. 2 losses between 2 or 2 years, so it's tough for them. It's not something that's fun, for sure. But I don't. It's all about getting better. It's all about improving, and they're good kids. So they're gonna take the adversity the right way and get better by it.
In the short term, does it make it tough with Tyler leaving because he might have been a more veteran presence in situations like that?
And again, Tyler, in fairness to Tyler too, he was never healthy. He played 13, 14 minutes for us at the Indiana State game. And his knee swelled up the whole next week. He had about 4.5 hours of practice total during this entire period. And Tyler is leaving because Tyler wanted to play 30 minutes a game. And that's basically his vision. He just didn't see it happen with our current team. I mean, you know, I didn't want Tyler to leave, and I think Tyler will be a good player when he moves on. But no question, defensively in particular, Tyler, having been in the program for a couple of years, just, you know, he would have been our best defensive player, you know, if he got back to getting healthy and been out there.
You did with the starting lineup. Will be like, are you retooling it or?
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it, but bottom line is they're all playing. I mean, you know, the starting lineup is not as big a deal as everybody when they get their opportunity, because they're going to get it to get out there and play well, play together, play as a team.
And what's a reasonable timetable? Do you have a sense for a team with so many new parts to kind of gel and try to?
Yeah, well, you know, with the addition of Shabazz now playing the lineup, I think it's been 3 games now. You know, it takes a little time. I mean, and you know, he's, you know, having to play catch up because he missed a lot of practice time, both in the summer and you know, with the injury here during the fall. But that's going to come. It's just, you know, it takes time. It's not fun to have to get a loss and lose, yeah, I think our chemistry will get better and better as the season progresses.
Is there stuff Shabazz needs to do to get conditioning-wise to get back in basketball shape after kind of sitting out a little bit?
Yeah, it's just getting up and down and running, and you know, I've got to do a good job playing him, you know 4-minute stretches, give him a couple of blows, but he'll get there. I mean, you know, he's a very good athlete, especially you know, strength-wise. So he'll get there. He'll get in better shape, and he's tough. You know, he's a tough kid.
And have you named captains?
I have the Ware twins and Larry Drew are 3 captains.
And what are you looking for them? You know, leadership.
Yeah, leadership on and off the floor, and you know, it's funny that you ask it. Like Larry's got to be more vocal. You know, I know Kyle was talking to him about it. I forget which one of the assistants pointed this out. You know, Larry his personality is not someone to bark out orders or, you know, get on his teammates, but he's got to get better at that, you know, as a leader and as a point, you know.
In terms of the zone defense, do you anticipate playing a good amount more zone going forward?
Yeah, we have to play some zone. We have to mix it in and help us against Georgia, and especially, you know, with limited numbers of players, it helps too. And then we have length. I think we have our guys did an incredible job against Georgia playing in the zone. And I thought that Norman and Larry in particular, how high were really good in it. And really helped us in that game. It's something we've got to mix in some for sure.
What about going up against zone defenses with your offense? Is that a work in progress? Will that require a little more scheming?
Yeah, you know what? I thought that the 2-3 that they were running the other day against us, the matchup, didn't bother so much. They kind of went away from that, but it was the 1-3-1. You know, we hadn't seen it before, and in the second half, we really started figuring it out. And they didn't play it down the stretch, and they were playing, you know, man for the most part. But we'll be a good team against zones, I think. As the season progresses, we've got pretty good shooters, and you know, Kyle's especially good in the interior zone when he catches the ball, turning and facing, and making plays and making reads.
Long term, I don't think you've commented publicly on Al Freeman yet. What will he bring to your team next year?
On Al Freeman?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a very good basketball player. I mean, he's a good athlete. He's a very good defensive player. He shoots the ball well. You know, he's a combo guard. He can play both positions. He's a great kid. So he's going to be a good addition.
Do you anticipate him being more of a 1 than a 2, or more of a 2 than a 1?
I think he can do both. I mean, he's very versatile. He's played both in the summer and, you know, with his different teams he's been on.
Did you ever fear that the Winter Classic game might not be on the schedule in the coming years? There's some talk about being shut down.
You know, with the new facility now, you know, that's up to the leadership of the athletic department. And something that, you know, I you know, leave to Dan and his team, but we're excited, you know, about that. You know, we're playing down there again. Because I always think of Coach. You know, Coach came to so many of those games and would be there, you know, after the game, the day before the game. So, it's it's important to keep that alive. I hope.
How did that match up with San Diego State come up? Is that
You know what, I had
athletic
nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good team from Southern California is going to bring a big gate, and there'll be a lot of people there. San Diego State will travel well for that, I'm sure.
And Northridge is off to a pretty good start.
They're up to a great start. And Northridge is a real problem. I told our team that Northridge is as talented as anybody we've seen. They play harder than anybody. I mean, that they're really good. I mean, they're really good. He's done a great job. And they're young. I mean, they play 10 guys. Maxwell inside is just a load because he's so good. That left hand to turn to his right shoulder. Hicks is a great player, averaging 18 and 8. The little guard Josh Green is a very good scorer and shooter. They're a great offensive unit. And the thing that is concerning is they really pressure you. And we haven't seen this type of ball pressure from anybody yet, like we're going to see tomorrow. They change defenses. They'll play pressure man-to-man. They'll play 2-3 zone, 1-3-1 trapping zone, a 3-2 zone. They get after you. And I coached against Coach Braswell over the years, and he does a great job. And their team can win a lot of games this year. It's a very good team. They're 6-1, and I think, and they had BYU down at BYU with less than 4 minutes to go. BYU is a very hard place to play.
Any more questions? Have you had as many transition opportunities as you imagined when you said at the beginning of the year you wanted to run a little more? As
Yeah, as I spoke to before, part of that is that teams, many of the teams we played this far, Irvine, Georgetown, our game against Seattle, they're very patient offensively. I mean, they're really taking their time. So it becomes a slower game for us in terms of having opportunities to be able to get out and run when you're taking 50 shots a game. I think it was 54 the other night, 53 by now. It makes it a slower paced thing, especially if you're not getting stops. And so, our ability to get out and pressure and create havoc with our pressure defense is just not something that's available to us.
What do you think you have to do to be able to assert the pace of the game a little more?
We got to rebound better and get stops. The best opportunity always to run is often misses from your opponent.
Any more questions?